Hello beer tubers and welcome to yet another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hotbeds. Today checking out some IPA that I thought would be fun to check out. This is a cool little thing. Alefarm Brewing did a collaboration with a home brewer that's starting, with the beginning steps to become not microbrewery, a nano brewery, which is really cool. If you aren't from Denmark, you probably don't know too much about this, but there's a lot of different Danish Instagram beer bloggers. One of the big initiatives is beerbloggers.dk, which is a combination of a few of the different blogs that help each other out to spread the word of craft beer. Kind of like what I was on back in the day with Beer Geek Nation, which was disbanded. But I'm still here. So they did a lot of stuff with this, and they did a lot of talking and whatnot. So the home brewer is Kim, who has a home brewery, which is, as I said, being turned into a nano brewery called Hops and Haze Brewing. And they brewed this beer, Norse Trails. Now, a lot of these bloggers, I've met a few of them in person. They're great people, but I felt like they were really pushing this. It felt like they were trying to really create hype about a product without even having it tried yet. I like the hype behind the idea that a home brewer gets to try and brew on a big system. That's really awesome and really nice of Casper from Alefarm. But I just didn't want to buy into the hype of the actual beer. I've never tried any of the Hops and Haze beers, homebrew beers. I've been told they're really good. But it just seemed like they were hyping it to hype it up. I thought it was a little bit like everyone just check it out. And you see everywhere now people, at least from the blogs, are just giving it super high praise. At least quite a few of them, not all of them, but a few of them are getting really high praise. And it's probably a pretty good beer then, because I trust a lot of these guys. But it also just seemed like a bit nuts with so much effort to try and hype it up. And I don't think Alefarm has done anything that's been really crazy hyped. Unless we talk old Alefarm back in the day, when they did a lot of the spontaneous fermentation and wild ale kind of stuff. But we'll see how this is. I just wanted to, go pick it up and see what I think and see if I agree with the guys. Because first of all, I might be a little bit biased because it's made with Kveik yeast, and I'm usually not the biggest fan of Kveik. I know a lot of homebrewers love Kveik yeast because you can ferment beers so quickly. And you can do it without getting too many off flavors. But I feel like they dry out a bit too much. I don't feel like, often when I've had like New England IPAs with them, I feel like they don't have the same level of complexity in terms of esters and whatnot. But it also depends on how you treat it and whatnot. Apparently Kim from Hops and Haze has been brewing with Kveik a lot, so he knows how to work with the yeast. So we're going to try and be a bit objective and not subjective and think like they're hyping it just to hype it, and we'll see how it is just drinking it. But the IPA in question is called Norse Trail. As I said, it's 8.4%. It's supposed to be 8%, but the Kveik yeast, it just went nuts, as it kind of does. It was canned on the 5th of February, and we have the 10th today. No, 11th? No, it's the 12th. Furloughed from work, going around home. Days are kind of the same, because it's the 14th on Sunday, right? It's Valentine's Day. There we go. So it's like a week old in the can. Super crazy fresh. It's hopped with Idaho 7, Galaxy, and Citra BBC. Idaho 7 being the biggest star of the show. Not as much of the others. And yeah, hops, barley, oat, wheat. Not anything like crazy, specific in terms of malt bill. But yeah, let's check this one out. I'm pretty stoked to try it and see how it is, because now everyone said it's amazing. So we'll see how it is. Also pouring out in the Alefarm glass. I got this a while back. I love this glass. I never use it because Brett and I always use the same glasses. But for solo reviews, this is very cool for IPAs. Just look at that. It's a wine glass of sort. But it looks nice. It looks like a New England type IPA. New England Kveik IPA, I guess you'd call it. It's hazy and orange. It's got a white head on there. It looks a lot like what you'd expect. So let's check out the aroma on Norse Trails. Yeah, it smells pretty nice. It smells like a very nice, more dry smelling New England IPA. They did a live stream. I didn't catch all the live stream. I saw some of it. A lot of them were comparing it to Heady Topper. And I can see part of it because Heady Topper was, kind of like the progenitor of the haze. It was more like really fruity West Coast. And I can sense something like that, but not in the same level of complexity. I'm getting mostly a good amount of like There's a little bit of stone fruit, but there's, to me, a lot of earthiness. A lot of like earthy, like piney flavors, like West Coast type IPA flavors. And I know Idaho 7 can go that way. And then underneath that, there's also a little bit of a spice, like black pepper. And I think black pepper and earthiness as well can also come from Galaxy. It often is, you know, how it works with different yeast and how it works with different hops. So it's not all the time you get that like melon thing, because I'm not really getting much of that. It's mostly like these really earthy and also grapefruity aromas. But there's definitely some kind of generic tropical fruit, like multi-fruit juice. But it smells really nice. Let's try it, guys. Cheers. Yeah, it's pretty good. Now, it's very harsh to compare this to like Monkish and all, you know, what I've been drinking as of late, Root plus Branch or Root and Branch and whatnot. You know, it's definitely not on that kind of level. Like I saw a lot of people giving like 4.5 and whatnot of the bloggers. I think that's a bit too high. It's definitely a nice IPA, really nice IPA, but I wouldn't put it in that like world class range, which for me a 4.5 is. But I think it's nice stuff for sure. It's probably the first Kveik brewed IPA that I'm actually really enjoying, and that's 100% honest, you know. Because often I feel like they just dry out too much. Like they get so dry with Kveik yeast, and like there's not that much complex yeast ester going on. But that's not the case here. And I think a lot of people might not like the earthy and garlic, maybe not so much garlic, it's more like earthy, topsoil kind of flavor, which apparently is also one of the flavors you sometimes get from Kveik yeast. That combined with like pine, slightly resiny flavors, more old school flavors. I think a lot of new school palates might not like it too much, but then you have some of the fruitiness to back it up. But it's a nice IPA, you know, super drinkable, total crusher. But it's not world class. A little bit of dankness to it as well. That peppery thing from Galaxy really shines. And maybe there is just the slightest amount of on the flavor compared to the aroma, like cantaloupe melon. And then, yeah, again, just like a generic multi-fruit juice. It's really fresh now. I think in a couple weeks time, maybe a week more, it will, you know, sit even better in the glass. So maybe I should get another can. Because right now it also has a little bit of a hop pellety bite, or just like that intense kind of green hop bite. That, you know, even Monkish cans have that when they're super fresh, but they also go crazy nuts with hops. But it just has a little bit of that. But, you know, it's really nice. Is it something that's a bit overhyped? Maybe. You know, it's all in the eyes of the beholder, I guess. If you think this is world class, that's perfectly fine. I don't. I think it's just really good IPA. But it also depends on your point of reference and what beers you've had. And this is a long discussion we could go into. I'm not going to dive too much into it. But, you know, it always, you know, that's always part of it with stuff like this. It always depends on what kind of beers you've had and whatnot. What you've had prior, like right now I've had like world-class New England IPAs. I've given 97, 98, you know, upper echelon of world-class. And this is not coming anywhere near that in terms of style. But for a more, I guess, West Coast, I can definitely follow the slightly heady topper-esque approach. This is very nice. Also a little bit of alcohol warmth, but not too much. Yeah, it's a good beer, 100%. So people were in line, but I just think it's a bit too hyped, maybe. Or I don't know if it's actually hyped or just the, you know, all the bloggers who's hyping it. I can't really follow it because I don't see, if you look like the people who tried it so far, not many people are hyping it. But, you know, it's what it is. It's a good beer. Drink it if you want. Drink or don't drink it if you don't want to drink it. But yeah, I'm gonna go like a 91. It's a quite enjoyable, you know, Kveik IPA, I guess you'd call it. New England Kveik IPA. But yeah, really cool concept. Love the idea that, you know, they're doing collabs with home brewers. It's been done before by other brewers, but it's a very cool way to involve the community. And, you know, it sounded like it's something they want to move forward with at Alefarm, which I think is really cool. I know a lot of people, I get lots of emails or messages from people who would like to come visit the brewery and just, you know, be there for brew day, help out any way they can, just to see how it works in the, you know, commercial sense. But it's not always you have time to do stuff like that. So it's awesome that Alefarm took the time to do something like that. Very cool. So yeah, if you guys had a chance to try Norse Trails by Alefarm Brewing and Hops and Haze Brewing, let me know what you thought of it. It's a nice IPA, worth a shot. Yeah, I'd say so. Don't go out of your way to get it, but right now it's everywhere in Denmark and probably also other web shops where you can get it that ship outside of the country. I've seen it on Ølkassen at least, and Best of Beers, and they ship around Scandinavia at least. So check them out if you want to try it. If you want to try actually a very nice Kveik IPA, and as I said, usually not my favorite. Yeah, and as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram, guys. And yeah, give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And now I'm going to say cheers in Kveik Double IPA, and see you guys in another beer review.